Hello everyone, welcome back to another Hornby review. Today I'm reviewing Edward. And this is one I needed for the longest time because everyone would comment, all your engines in your series for the most part are Hornby, besides Edward. Well, now Edward is here. So, we'll just do a quick look around the box. I'm going to try to keep this review a little shorter than they usually are. Thomas and Friends logo with Thomas there, all the characters on the bottom. Flip it around here, it says Edward. And on the back, and obviously this is the old style Edward, there's all your info. The date says 2005, so we've been having a lot of models from 2005. So, without further ado, let's get on with taking them out of the box here. And this model is actually not completely standard. This model came from Italy, so I've noticed it's a little bit different in how it's packed. For example, rather than tissue paper, there is this, I guess you call it plastic, thin plastic. The instructions are laid out differently in the sense that they're not folded the same. There's still a date up there. It says 06, so this might have actually been 2006. For the most part, it's just kind of standard stuff, so we won't go too far into that. And here's Edward. So I'm just going to take him out like this. There are holes in the back, but, you know, it's a railroad model, so it's not going to kill you if you take it out like this. And we'll go for the logo next. And this model actually came brand new, so I actually had to run him in a little bit, but he was pretty good. He came with the vacuum pipes and everything separate. It came with lamp irons separate, but it also came with some fitted, and they're fitted upside down, so I've just flipped them the right way around. And the lamp irons he came with I put on James because he was actually missing one or two. So here's Edward. I'm not going to go into the history of Edward because you all know who he is, but he was the first engine introduced in the Railway series, the first engine that was come up with in the Railway series. You know, and besides that, he's been a pretty main character since until Mattel took over, but that doesn't fly in my brain. I just don't pretend. I pretend that's not even a thing. So, if we look at Edward, you can already notice that he is not based on a K2, which is his actual class. He's based on a heavily modified D49, which isn't horrible. It's not a horrible basis. I mean, the wheel arrangement looks like Edward. For example, if you look up here, there's a molding line of where the original dome was. Here, there are molds. I don't even know if you... Yeah, you can see them where the safety valve stuff used to be. So, also, the steam pipes go down to nothing because there is no piston here, and there's no secondary rod. And the tender is not an LNER tender because the D49s were, I believe, typically LNER locos. This is a Fowler tender, just like, you know, James, Gordon, and, you know, those guys. So, if we look at Edward, I'm actually really impressed with this model. I'll already tell you, this thing runs so well, and it's a lot bigger than I thought it would be. Real quick, actually, because he's right here. We'll grab James, since I had him on the layout already. See, he's actually... It's interesting because James's buffer beam is higher, no doubt. But his buffer beam is straight. His dips down, so his face is further up. So he's actually considerably taller for some reason. Now, lengthwise, if I line them up, buffer to buffer here, there's only that much extra length on Edward, which is not a big deal. And then from the top, y'all can see there kind of what's going on. But he is, for some reason, taller, which is weird because I feel like James should be more like up here. That would kind of make more sense to me. But he doesn't look this big in other people's videos. Maybe it's just me, but he doesn't look that big. And on the layout, he doesn't look that big either. Mainly when you just get him head on like this, you start to notice the size difference. But the tenders, obviously, I'm sorry, James? That was probably kind of loud. The tenders are the exact same, mold-wise, not paint-wise. And they run pretty much the same, although Edward's considerably faster for some reason. This detail was added by me. It doesn't come like that. Oh, I just noticed this part's kind of... Oh, there we go. Never mind. Yeah. And, like, you know, this part doesn't come gold. That was just little details I've added over time. So, yeah, I just figured I would do that little comparison since they are, supposed to be pretty similar, but Edward's supposed to be smaller in the show, although his Hornby model is actually a little bit bigger, which is interesting. He's not, he looks more like the Railway series, obviously, than the TV series, but if you're buying Hornby engines for TV series accuracy, then you're spending your money in the wrong way. This is Hornby's take. This is a realistic interpretation of Edward, and for that it scores major points in that regard. I believe there is still at least one D49 that's preserved that you can go see, I do believe. But yeah, onto the actual model. Cab detail, I'm going to try to get some light in there. Oh yeah, okay, you can see it. Actually quite a lot of cab detail, and there's a space for your driver and fireman to kind of sit, which is really cool. Obviously, he's tender driven, so this moves. Same thing on James. A new Edward's like that too. The older Edward is better in my opinion. Look-wise, they're both nice in their own way, but performance, this one definitely outdoes the newer one. If we look around, the lining is really nice. This is a perfect shade of blue. On camera, it's a little bit darker because that's just how my camera is. But unfortunately, Gordon and Thomas are pretty far away, and that would take a bit of time to get them over here. But this is like the perfect shade of blue. I kind of wish Thomas and Gordon were painted more like this, but they did it right with Edward, so I'm not complaining. The whistle's nice. The shape is really nice. I actually really like the shape of him. The steam pipes aren't too distracting. If you think about it too much, they're distracting, but it makes a really cool front view, front profile, whatever you want to call it. Handrails along here. This lining is a little bit interesting, how they incorporated that. I'm glad they put lighting there. It's just kind of interesting how they did it. He actually has, what's it called, perspex, I don't know what you call it, fake glass in the windows there. It's really nice. And you can see I fitted the lamp irons up the right way, and the vacuum pipe is in there correctly. He's in amazing condition because he was brand new. Yeah, people complain about this bit, which is rather annoying. And obviously, if this was an unmodified D49, this piston would prevent this from happening. But this moves a lot. Same thing with the Bachmann Edward. I don't understand why people complain about that. Like, do you want Edward torque or not? But I presume that regular D49s use a different sort of system that doesn't pivot. It just goes left and right. Because you can see, I'm guessing that's what this is. This little bit up here, if you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then don't worry about it. But that's what I'm guessing that's for. I don't really know what else that would be for. And underneath it's actually dated 2006. So I'll actually take the Loco's date of 2006 as being correct, which would be like season 10, I think. So there's Edward. I love it, especially the face. I completely shadowed over the face. The face is amazing. That sculpt and everything just looks great. Definitely gives me like a season 7-ish kind of vibe, I guess. But yeah, great sculpt. The paintwork is spectacular on here. Here's a tender. Again, same as James and Gordon. Details the same. We got the brake lever, number 2. They actually painted this black, just like James, which is accurate. Underneath, just says made in China, 12 volt, that sort of thing, the Hornby logo. This, obviously, I fitted the vacuum pipe. It doesn't sit in there perfectly, which is odd, but it fits, so. And the lamp hooks and the lamp irons, which are fitted the right way because they are part of the tooling. So, yeah, interesting model. I was not a huge fan of it whenever I first saw it, but now that I have it in the flesh, and my friends who have this model said that it was really nice in person, I can definitely agree 110%. This is a very, 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 very nice model. It really is, and the performance is great. I just love the big wheels. I don't know why I'm so mesmerized by the big wheels. I just love that. That just looks so cool to me. I don't know why. But yeah, we'll give them a quick running like I did in the Henry video. So, and I'm not going to stop the camera. So we're just going to put him up here. We're going to run him face all this way. Going to run him right here. Make sure all of his wheels are on the track. I'm not going to do a full loop. I'll just show y'all kind of how he's going. If I can even pick pick out the right remote. Okay. There we go. Sorry, I didn't put his tender on the track correct. I don't know why he's acting up. Sorry about that. Let's try that again. That was really weird. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm so sorry about that. That was so random. There you go. As you can see, once you get him going, he's just fine. That noise you hear is the Code 83 track, by the way. That's not his motor. He was really jittery at first. And usually he's not like that. I do believe it's because I didn't put the tender on right, but yeah. So, that was just a quick little, I guess, running bit for Edward. I don't know why at first he was kind of stuttering. That was really weird, because usually he's not like that. And if you notice that the sky background is, the paper's kind of warping a bit, I'm going to get on that, so don't worry about that. Yeah, so that was just my review on Hornby Edward. He's a very nice model, but he's definitely not for your TV series accurate kind of Thomas people. That's definitely where the Bachmann Edward would go. But if you want a model of Edward that is very strong, very reliable, and is unique, and is painted very well, I would definitely go with the Hornby Edward. And this guy will last forever. I can almost guarantee that. So yeah, thank you all for watching. And my next review is going to be the Hornby Flying Scotsman for the Thomas range. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next review.